after coming in to look at the property?
Yeah, and I know, it's just so, it seems like sometimes some of these homes have so many issues and it takes so much of our time to like get them up to speed. It almost makes sense to do it ahead of time so we know what we're selling.
I'm doing an assessment as I'm walking through the properties. I'm doing an assessment and talking about the things that I typically see as the big issues, roofs, HVAC, that kind of stuff. And if it's something that is what I frequently see as a big issue, I may have discussions with them about having somebody come in and look at that particular thing. I don't have them do whole home inspections prior to listing.
We're going to do questions from Gina, and then I'm going to narrow the scope of the questions a little bit so we can kind of get focused on some, what I would think are the big rocks to generate lots of money. Gina.
So as you're growing,
Yes.
letting go of your buyers when they don't want to let go of you,
Uh-huh.
go with your buyer's agents,
Mhm.
how did you kind of, I think I'm getting better, but I think that's also something that's holding me back.
Okay.
Even going further
Sure.
is, some will not let go of me, some I've gravitated them over to buyer's agents, and I think part of it is my hiring, and part of it is them not wanting to let me go, and sometimes me not wanting to let them go.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Okay.
How much of it is them not letting you go and how much of it is you saying, oh, I just really don't wanna let go of this?
Yeah.
It's fun to sell buyers' houses. I had fun doing that. What I realized was if I'm gonna grow my business, I have to be very intentional and purposeful about what I'm doing with my time. I can talk to and work with 10 sellers in the same amount of time that I can take one buyer to look at 15 homes. So I had to get very purposeful about what I was doing with my time. And the way that I got my clients comfortable with that is, first of all, having team members that you can trust. Second of all, including them, inviting them into the circle of conversation from the very beginning. Because again, these people are working with you because you've earned their trust from them. So bringing your buyer's agent into the scenario right off the bat brings instant validity and credibility to that buyer's agent, okay? So, and explaining how your team works with confidence. You know what, I'm gonna be working with you on the listing side, and Jane Doe's gonna be working with you on the buy side, and she is so phenomenal, and we do this team and sell the value prop of the team, the value proposition of the team, and how that's a benefit to them. Because truly what that client really cares about is, whatever you got going on out there, what is that gonna mean to me? How does that make my life better and easier?
Very good, guys. We're going to do 3 questions, because I can see you jittering a little bit. You haven't made phone calls for like an hour now. So we're going to do 3 questions. I'd love to have you focused on lead generation. Lead generation challenges, maybe ask you what's working, what's not. We'll take a 15-minute break. That'll be the only break of the day. We're going to come back. We're going to get into some, really peel back the curtain on exactly what she's doing today to run her business and go from there. So questions on lead generation. Yes, ma'am.
Dawn, how many listings do you carry at all times? And is that consistently the inventory level that you keep it consistent throughout the course of the year pretty much?
Great question. I keep it pretty consistent, and that number, Stephanie, that I carry has grown over the years, obviously. So I used to carry somewhere between about 25 and 35, and then it's grown from there. And right now, I'm carrying somewhere between 45, 55, 60 listings at a time. Yeah.
Dawn, whenever you do your lead generation, do you work on your Sphere? Do you use RedX? How many hours a day do you do that?
Okay.
And how many days during the week do you do that?
Okay, lead generation. Lead generation to many of us is like the big, I hate lead generation, I don't want to lead generate. What I want to encourage you guys to do is look at all of the different opportunities that there are to lead generate. I'm going to tell you what I do. I do not sit at a phone Monday through Friday from 9 till noon and lead generate. What I do though is I'm constantly lead generating, okay? So one of the things we're going to talk about later this morning is farming, and how the neighborhood that I farm very, very heavily, all the lead generation stuff that I do with that neighborhood. So my lead generation is constant. It's networking events. It's when I'm going to the hairdresser, when I'm going to wherever it is, I'm constantly talking about real estate. I'm listening to the conversations that are going on around me, and I'm not shy to interject myself and be like, oh, I hear you, I understand you're talking about da-da-da. Now, I'm not being pushy real estate woman because I'm doing it in a fun, lighthearted, personal way, okay? I'm not sounding all salesperson-y and like where people are gonna be put off by it. I do it in a sincere type of way, because I am curious. I do wanna help more people, guys. I mean, I feel, I believe that when somebody is working with me and my team, that they are going to get the best service that is out there. So why would I not wanna help more people? Why would I not wanna do that? And for those of us who go, oh, I don't wanna be the pushy salesperson and I'm embarrassed and I can't do that. Guys, I mean, you're jibbing them. If you are confident that you can give that person the best service, why would you not wanna offer that to them? So Dan, the lead gen, all the time.
Is it
Yeah.
acceptable to farm an area that you're not acceptable, but, where you don't actually live? You're not in that subdivision and that immediate subdivision.
bet.
But you know a lot of people.
You
just your
bet.
family- Okay, so.
Absolutely. We're gonna talk about that farming later, the second half of the morning. Absolutely. Diane?
Do you ever have this, what if you drop the ball and you just not kept in touch with your clients?
Oh, yeah.
What's a good thing to say when you go back to the generator?
Diane, I am so embarrassed to even be making this call, but I'm more embarrassed to not be making it. I am so sorry that I have not been in touch with you for 6 months. It is awful, but you know what? I couldn't let another day go by without reaching out to you and saying hi. I've been thinking about you, wondering how you're doing, so that's how I do it. Fess up. Why aren't you calling them? Why aren't you calling them?
I'm embarrassed.
Because you're embarrassed. Say why you're not calling them. I'm so embarrassed to be making this call because I have not called you in 6 months and I couldn't let it go on anymore.
Would you leave that on a voicemail or would you wait till they answer?
Voicemail.
I would say. Depends how well I know the person, but I think on the phone call, I'll be like, you know what, Diane, there's something I wanted to go over with you real quick. Could you do me a really big favor and just call me back real fast? Okay?
Deborah, last question, we'll take a quick break.
Okay, so you talked about keeping in touch with your sphere of influence using a database. Are you keeping track to make sure you're calling everybody over a certain period of time, and how do you do that?
Yes. The second half, we're going to talk about the database management system and the systems that we have in place to keep in touch with the SOI. So we are going to absolutely hit on exactly that. Because guys, that is a biggie. I didn't always use a database management system, and just to kind of finish off the production growth. I guess it was 2010, we did 21 million, 2011, we did 26 million, and this year we're on track to well break over the 30 million. So, and a lot of that, Deborah, again, 70% of my business, I'm sorry?
Repeat that again, as far as.
2010, we did 21 million. 2011, we did 26 million. And this year we'll break 30.
Real quick, okay, so when you hit the 18 million, you were still at your same team amount.
Yes.
When did you really start to, add those multiple buyers?
3 years ago.
Okay.
3 years ago is when I started to grow the team more. And again, that's
We'll
because,
leave that after break.
yes.
Okay.
We're coming after break. Cool guys, hey, remember this first half of the morning, good?
Yeah, really want to know about
Give me some drink, return call at 10:30, we're gonna go, hard until noon.
I think it got everything.
Take your minutes.